What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer video, and we will also preview the Liverpool-Leicester game today. Let me know what is your prediction for the Liverpool-Leicester game. Leicester could be actually the hardest test for Liverpool in the Premier League so far this season. And I'm very excited about this one because it is about the most talented young Hungarian player right now, Szoboszlai. You could see how good he is when Liverpool played Salzburg in the Champions League. And Salzburg actually had a few very impressive players. Minamino and Szoboszlai caught my eye, and in this video we will talk about Szoboszlai and how he could fit into this Liverpool team. Apparently, according to sources in Italy, Liverpool are interested in Szoboszlai and we are keeping a close eye on him. I think this will be his breakthrough season because last season he scored 5 goals in all competitions for Salzburg. This season he already has 3 goals and he also scored a magnificent free kick for the Hungarian national team in Euro qualifying. And Szoboszlai almost won the game for Salzburg actually, because after Salzburg came back from 3-0 down and Szoboszlai was instrumental, he made some very good passes in midfield. Szoboszlai actually had the chance to make it 4-3 to Salzburg, but he was closed down by, I think it was Joe Gomez, and he shot wide. And I was very impressed with him, and I might be biased a little bit because he is Hungarian and this would be an absolute dream for me. You can't understand how long I've been waiting for a big Hungarian talent to actually go to Liverpool and to really impress and be a main player at Liverpool FC. That is an absolute dream for me and I think for many Hungarian footballers as well. Liverpool looking to sign a young, talented goal-scoring midfielder. Szoboszlai is a very talented young player. He's only 18 years old. He will turn 19 in just 3 weeks' time. And actually, Arsenal scouts were at Anfield watching Szoboszlai in particular as well. The Daily Mirror has a report saying that Arsenal are also monitoring the 18-year-old Hungary international. And if you just watch some YouTube highlights of Szoboszlai, you can clearly see that he has a brilliant eye for goal. He can score from all types of distances. He can score some great long-range strikes. He's a great free kick taker, but also he has a very good talent of picking out a brilliant assist, a brilliant pass. And actually Szoboszlai had some very impressive passes in the Salzburg midfield. And Arsenal are believed to have approached Salzburg already because they want to be kept informed on a rival interest in Szoboszlai ahead of a potential move at the end of the season. So Liverpool could sign Szoboszlai at the end of the season, but I think we will have competition for his signature. And I think Szoboszlai is ready for the Premier League because he is the type of player that absolutely thrives under pressure. He started off his career at Liefering, a fellow Austrian club. He scored the 10 goals in the first season, and then of course he scored 6 goals in just 9 games, but then he was recalled by Salzburg and he had 5 goals in 20 games. So last season overall he scored 11 goals, 29 games for 2 clubs. So 5 goals in 20 games is not a bad number, but if you add up the other goals that he scored for Liefering, it's 11 goals in 29 games. Those are very good numbers. And in his total career, he scored 24 goals in just 74 appearances. For a player who plays in midfield predominantly, those are very good numbers. And also, he is now a Hungarian international player. He scored his first goal for Hungary in his 5th game. And in his first few games for the Hungary national team, he was a little bit like on the safe side. He didn't play with his usual swagger, but in the last few games he has really came out of his shell, and he is now one of the best midfielders in the Hungary team, maybe even the best midfielder already at 18-19 years old. And of course Liverpool have connection with Salzburg already because we signed Naby Keita and Sadio Mane, who have been coming from Salzburg, and I think that We have a good connections at the club, and Salzburg are also a well-run club, but if there is a good offer for one of their young players, that's their club policy to sell those players. And Salzburg had a very, very young squad out against Liverpool, and they were mightily impressive. I mean, one of the most impressive performances by an away side that I've seen at Anfield, and I still don't know when was the last time a team came back from 3-0 down to draw 3-0. But then, thankfully, Liverpool won the game. And you should only judge Dominic Szoboszlai in consideration with his age. If you take it into account that he's just 18 years old, his performance at Anfield is mightily impressive. He's just a kid, basically, and he already played like he belongs at this stage, like he belongs in the Champions League, and that's what excited me the most, actually. I didn't want Salzburg to beat Liverpool or get a draw. Of course, I always support Liverpool first and foremost, but I was actually looking at Szoboszlai very closely, not just because of he's Hungarian, but because I wanted to see how he does in a really big Champions League game. And also, he's probably one of the most talented, if not the most talented player of the whole Salzburg team. So I was really interested to find out how he copes with the pressure, and he actually coped very well. He didn't look fazed at all by the Anfield crowd, and he actually in his post-match interview said that every player, even away players, love to play in this kind of atmosphere. The Anfield crowd was magnificent, even according to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai, if he signs next summer, of course, he will be on the bench for Liverpool. I think he can break into the first team. I honestly think that he is good enough in 2 or 3 years. And maybe we can set up a deal with Salzburg that we sign him right now. We pay for Salzburg a very decent transfer fee, but we keep him at Salzburg for another season, just to give him more experience. I think the best path for Szoboszlai is to maybe stay at Salzburg for another season after this season, and then go to Liverpool or Arsenal or another really big Premier League club. I think he still needs 1 or 2 years to really develop his game and to sort out any tactical issues that he might have being so young. Of course, he lacks the experience of playing in a big Premier League side, or even playing regular first team football for many years in a row. So I think once he gets that experience, he will be an outstanding player. I'm really looking forward to watching him develop. And Jurgen Klopp actually said that Leicester is well capable of qualifying for the top 4, and I fully agree with him. I think Leicester City are looking actually as good as Arsenal. They look better than Man United right now. They look as good as Chelsea as well. And I think the test away at Liverpool will be their biggest test of the season, but it will probably be Liverpool's biggest test in the Premier League this season, even though we played Chelsea and Arsenal already. Chelsea was a big test, but I think Liverpool coped well with that. It looks like that 100% Jurgen Klopp said about Leicester being well capable of qualifying for the top 4. There is no difference to other top 6 teams apart from maybe the name. You can see that it is built from the back. The goalie is still there is no doubt about him. The defense looks really solid in each position. Midfield creative, hardworking, offensively very creative, very straightforward as well. That is how you build a proper team, Jurgen Klopp said. And Jurgen Klopp actually hopes that Brendan Rodgers will receive a warm welcome from Liverpool fans, and I hope for the same as well, because Rodgers was a very young manager, still not very experienced when he came to Liverpool, and he gave the Liverpool fans one of the most exciting seasons of the past 30 years in that 13-14 title run. Nobody expected Liverpool to challenge for the title. Liverpool fans would have been happy with just a 4th place finish to finish in the Champions League. So for Liverpool to be 1 game away from the title and to score 101 goals was incredible. And I don't really get the abuse that some Liverpool fans give to Brendan Rodgers. I think that he should be respected, and it should be taken into consideration that Rodgers was still a rookie manager, basically almost winning the title at Liverpool. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said about Rodgers. I hope from the fans it will be okay, the reception. From my side it is fine. All the issues are sorted which we had a few years ago. when we started living in Brendan Rodgers' house. I just love that. That is brilliant. We love living there and it is all good. We have paid our rent to him, so I'm not sure he still has to work, but he's still doing it. I just love Jurgen Klopp's sense of humor. He's doing really well. I'm not surprised about that. I knew when I came here that he was not the reason that things didn't work out. Since then, he did an incredible job at Celtic and now at Leicester. A lot of the players were there before him, but he's made some really good signings. A brilliant team. What they do is really good. I don't have to say that I think everybody knows at the moment. When you watch Leicester games, it is exciting, fresh, and they defend well, play football, and counter-attacks are threatening. The reception, I think, will be good from our supporters, but still it is not a friendly game. We are there to perform as well, and hopefully we can do that. And also Jurgen Klopp has been particularly impressed with Leicester City's fullbacks. Ricardo Pereira already has 2 goals this season, and Ben Chilwell, of course, is very, very reliable. He's doing well this season, just like last season. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said. Ben Chilwell, I was first aware of him when he was on loan at Huddersfield. David Wagner was pretty much in my ear every day, but Leicester didn't want to let him go. He is still there, which is obviously good for him. Now he's a grown-up player, not a kid anymore. Football-wise, he's exceptional. So yes, they have good fullbacks, but I'm happy with my own fullbacks, to be honest. And who can blame Jurgen Klopp? I mean, Liverpool have 2 of the best fullbacks in world football right now. And Jurgen Klopp also confirmed that Joel Matip still has not recovered from a knock, so he is ruled out. And Alisson, even though he could feature against Leicester, he just returned to full training. This is what Jurgen Klopp said. With Alisson, it is still maybe, maybe not. Yesterday he trained with the team. He looked really good. We will see. I have to talk with different people before I make a decision about that. Joel looks good, but he's not ready for tomorrow. I think that Jurgen Klopp should be cautious with Alisson. I mean, Adrian has been pretty good. Maybe bring in Alisson after the international break just to give him another 2 weeks to rest and to really 100% recover, because if Alisson gets injured again, that would be a huge blow for Liverpool. So I really hope that Liverpool will be just very careful with Alisson. An English pundit, former Coventry City striker Noel Whelan, gave a very good account of Mane. What a player. He is incredible. He is so dangerous, the worst nightmare for any defender. Everyone talks about Mohamed Salah, but Mane looks the man and the biggest threat of all. He's so quick and elusive and unpredictable too. He scores goals from inside and outside the box. He sets them up, takes players on. He can do everything. He would walk into every team in the world, Man City, Real Madrid, anyone. He's worth £150 million right now. His commodity is massive at the moment. And you could even offer Jurgen Klopp 100 million or 150 million, plus even another player. He would still say no to selling Mane. He is just brilliant, and I have to be honest, he's my favorite Liverpool player at the moment. But Firmino and Salah, they are a close second and third. I just love Mane. The style of play that he plays and the type of person he is as well. I think that he's a huge fan favorite and he deserves all the praise that he can get, and I'm just really, really happy for him. Remember Loris Karius, the forgotten goalkeeper of Liverpool, who is now on loan at Besiktas for like 2 seasons? He actually came out and said that he could play for Liverpool in the future. This is what he said, Karius, and I quote, "I have a loan until the end of the season at Besiktas, and then I will see. Back to Liverpool or somewhere else in England or somewhere in Germany, you never know. Right now my focus is on playing games here every week, and then we will see. I have enjoyed my time here. Of course, if you play in England, you are a bit more in the spotlight. But it's a good club here, of course with some problems now and then. I've enjoyed my time here. It was not always easy the last year and a bit since I'm here, but overall the first season was quite good. The Premier League is the best league in the world, so it's interesting of course, but also I'm still under contract at Liverpool, so maybe I will play for Liverpool again. You never know, it's difficult to say now. If it's not Liverpool, it will be another decent team, I am sure, so I'm not worried. It's good to see Karius having a little bit more confidence now, and he looks actually to the future and hopes that he will play a part in Liverpool's future as well. I think we will sell him, But the problem is, Karius is not having the best of seasons. He's having some individual mistakes that was actually sometimes happening at Liverpool as well. I just don't want to remember even the Champions League final. Let's just not talk about it. But Karius, it looks like he hasn't really delivered his best performance at Besiktas. He's capable of much more, in my opinion. Jordan Henderson, in his pre-match comments, said that how much Brendan Rodgers influenced him and developed him as a player during his time as a Liverpool manager. This is what Jordan Henderson said about Brendan Rodgers. There is a little room for sentiment in football, and today I have no doubt at all that the manager in the away dugout will have as much desire to win here as we all have in looking to beat his side. That said, it's impossible to ignore the person, along with key staff members, returning to Anfield this afternoon for the first time since they left Liverpool. For 90 plus minutes we are opponents, but the only way to describe Brendan Rodgers, Kolo Touré, Chris Davis and Glenn Driscoll is as returning friends, and as people who did a lot to help not just this club as a whole, but a number of individual players within it, myself included. I know that they will get a warm welcome before and after the game. I will always be grateful to Sir Kenny Dalglish for having enough belief in myself to bring me here in the first place. But as well as Sir Kenny, Brendan played a massive part in my Liverpool career and development as a player here. It's already apparent that Brendan is doing for the Leicester players what he did for us when he came to Liverpool. It's obvious how much the lads there have brought into what he and his staff are looking to create and achieve, and it's genuinely no surprise to me that they have made such a positive start to this season. In the 3 years plus I spent working for Brendan Rodgers, I learned so much from him. He was massively generous when it came to giving time to explain what he wanted from you in terms of improvement, development. I mentioned that faith Sir Kenny showed in offering me the chance to become a Liverpool player, and I have the same appreciation to Brendan for making me captain. I was still relatively young at that time, and I'm sure there would have been safer choices to make. That he chose to hand me the armband sums up the impact Brendan had here. He made us all believe in ourselves and push ourselves to be better. It's fantastic to see Kolo Touré working by his side now as well, and I'm sure the supporters will be made up to see him back at Anfield. When you share a dressing room with Kolo Touré as a teammate, it isn't hard to see why he achieved so much in his career as a player. His standards were unbelievably high, and he was always keen to help the other lads. It's no surprise he's become a coach now, and a successful one with Brendan. Because you could tell as a player he had both that knowledge about the game and the ability to explain it and pass it on. The other people were key members of Brendan's staff at Liverpool too, and have remained just as important to him at Celtic and at Leicester. Both were massively respected by the players during their time with us. And again, it's great to see them doing well and playing such a big part in Brendan's success. Of course, as I pointed out right at the beginning, friendships are on hold for the game itself. I know all four well enough to know they will be desperate to come here and get the result. Not because it's about making a point to Liverpool, but because everything they do is about getting the best results for their team. That team is now Leicester City, but they will come up against a team who are also desperate for the result, as we always are, regardless of who or where we play. Today is no different. There are 3 more points up for grabs. We want them. We will do everything we can to try and get them. Brilliant pre-match thoughts by Jordan Henderson, and I think he portrays well what an impact Brendan Rodgers had on Liverpool and on these individual players. So bring on the Liverpool-Leicester game. My prediction is a hard-fought, very close 2-1 Liverpool win, but I think this will be a big test for both teams, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.